we begin, YouTube, this video is not made for kids. I make videos about movies and shows that kids like, but my channel is not directed towards kids, it's a news channel, so thank you. Hey everyone, welcome to Filmtastic, and today we're talking Toy Story 5. We're looking into some comments that Tim Allen made recently on his Twitter, aka X, and also on a talk show, because I thought they were quite interesting. Also, we've got some things that the director of Toy Story 5 has said, so we're just going to kind of dive into this quick news round for Toy Story 5. So I think it was like a week ago, Tim Allen made a comment on Twitter, and everyone's kind of interpreting it as Toy Story 5 being the last film. I don't completely agree with that. I feel like we could easily get 6. They kind of get emotional in each film, I feel. I mean, they've even said, like, in the 4th film, they were like, oh yeah, it's emotional, but, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But I'm not convinced yet it's the last one, but I'll just read what he says. I did wrap my part in Toy Story 5 Friday. It really affected me. I love these creators and I love this story. I'm blessed to be in this wonderful spacesuit for so many years. Obviously, it's very bittersweet and sad, and maybe it is the last role in Toy Story. Maybe if Buzz doesn't come back in the next movie, I don't know, or if there is one at all. But yeah, it's still some things to think about, because obviously I had emotional time recording it, and it could mean something, it could not. And then also in his interview on the Jimmy Fallon show, we talked a bit more about Jessie, and Tim Allen said, quote, "It's Jessie's story. It's about Jessie. She's in trouble and Woody and I have to go find her." I wonder what it means by finding her, because isn't she in Bonnie's room? But yeah, by the looks of it, they've got to help her, is basically what I'm getting. But I feel like he said that a few times though, so it's not completely fresh, but he's still kind of carrying forward what he's been saying before, where it's Jessie's story, Jessie focused, and some of the merchandise that I've seen does support that a bit, so, I think it's definitely going to be a Jessie central story. And then on a different topic, Andrew Stanton, the director of Toy Story 5, did an interview recently about Toy Story 5. I think it's actually on the Walt Disney Company website. And yeah, he talked a bit about the movie and kids and toys. So I'm just going to read a bit from that. So, quote, "Each film deals with some truth about growing up. There's always some new aspect of toy life that you've never seen before, from a different point of view. Every kid's different. Every style of play is unique to that toy's experience. Nobody played with exactly the same things growing up. Time has moved forward with these characters, and that's the key. The key is not trying to honour them. The key is letting them change, like life changes." And yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So he's basically talking about how it's like the film is kind of talking about kids growing up and toys, and how toys these days are kind of, they're not in their prime, technology's taken over. It's just kind of a bittersweet comment about that, and I think that's an interesting thing to discuss because, yeah, the truth is that, like, some kids are like iPad kids and they don't play with toys much anymore. So I really think, like, this movie could have some really interesting conversations. So I'm really excited to see that when it comes out, because I feel like there could be some really, interesting topics going around, discussing toys and technology, iPad kids, how you should, like, raise kids. I feel like lots of stuff could come out of this, which is really interesting. But it's basically talking about, how each kid's different, each toy is unique, and kids grow up, I feel like it's tracking some similar steps to Toy Story 3, like similar, not necessarily steps, but some similar life lessons. Because in Toy Story 3, when I was reading that, I was thinking of Toy Story 3, because in Toy Story 3, it's also kind of like about, kids growing up and stuff. It's like in a different way, rather than them being replaced by like an iPad, they're not needed because they're growing up and they're moving on, sort of thing. Like how Bonnie, when she's a teenager, doesn't feel like she wants a dolls anymore and she sells one. So it's very interesting sort of concepts. Like I said, I'm excited to see them explore this. So yeah, in summary, Tim Allen yet again emphasises Jessie, and I think that's definitely something that's going to be true at this point because he's mentioned it so many times. And he also got emotional on his last day. Could mean something, could mean nothing. And finally, the director, said some more about the story and the kids and iPads technology. Anyways, that rounds up all the news today. Thanks so much for watching, everyone.